My name is BINTI with a number metric of 306109. Now I'm going to discuss about question 1, which is find the interval where the function fx equal to 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 36x plus 4 is increasing and the interval where is decreasing. So firstly, let's take a look about the equation and also the solutions. The equation is about 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 36x and then plus 4. We are using the first derivative as we want to find about the interval whether it's increasing and also decreasing. As you can know that first derivative, which is dy dx, they're using to find the slope and also the measuring of change of rate. So as here, I'm doing the first derivative, which is 6x squared plus 6x minus 36 for our first derivative of the equations that are using the power rules. Alright, and then after that, we know that we are going to measure about the increasing and also decreasing of the interval. We are using the first derivative, f prime x is equal to 0. As you can know that when the interval and also the f prime x is equal to 0, as you can know that the slope is equal to 0. So which means that we are going to find the critical values. So over here, I just put it into the equations. 0 equal to 6x squared plus 6x minus 36. And then factorize it. And at the end, we get x minus 2 equal to 0 and also x plus 3 equal to 0. So for here, we already get the critical value, which is x equal to negative 3 and also x equal to 2. When we are having two critical value, means that we are having three intervals. So over here, we can see the interval, which is negative infinity, negative 3, positive 2, and also till infinity. So after that, we are using the test point method as we are going to use the interval and also finding the numbers that involve in the range of the interval. For example, the first interval, negative infinity, negative 3, I'm using negative 4 as the range of the interval and also as the test point for the functions. After this, I will get the sign of the function, which is positive, and so on. For the second interval and third interval, the second interval, the sign of the function is negative, which means that it's decreasing, and the third is positive, which means that it's increasing. As a graph over here, the smiley graph, we can see about when the movement from positive to negative align with the movement of the interval and the critical values, we are having a maximum point. While the movement from negative to positive, when move across the critical value, we are having a minimum point. So after this, we can get a small conclusions for this question, which is the interval negative infinity, negative 3, and also 2 till negative of the function of fx 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 36 plus 4 is increasing, while the interval of negative 3, 2 of the function is decreasing. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is YUEN, number matrix 306129. Today I will explain the question B. For this question, have three questions. So for the question 1, we need to find out the marginal profit function. The question have given us two equations, which is P equals to 200 minus 0.9 x cubes, and the cost of producing cubes unit is 0.02 q squared plus 2q plus 8,000. So we need to find out the profit first. For the formula of the profit is revenue minus with cost. So for the revenue, we can find it out as P times Q, which is 200 minus 0.9 x cubes times with Q. So we got the answer is 200 cubes minus 0.9 x cubes square. For the profit, we use the revenue minus with cost. So we got the 200 cubes minus 0.9 x cubes square minus with the cost, which is 0.02 q square plus 2q plus 8,000, and we got the 200 cubes minus 0.9 x cubes square minus 0.02 q square minus 2q minus 8,000, and we got the answer, which is q square plus 190 x cubes minus 8,000. For the marginal profit function, we can get it as derivative of the profit function. So we differentiate it, the profit function, and we can get it minus q squared minus 190 x cubed minus 8,000. After we derivative, we can get it minus 2q minus 198. So the marginal profit function is negative 2q minus with 198. For the question 2, we need to find out the interval where the marginal profit is falling and rising. So we need to use the MP function with negative 2q plus 198. So we need to derivative of MP. So we got it. The differentiate MP is negative 2. So the negative 2 is negative. So means that since the derivative of MP equals to negative 2 is negative, the marginal profit is always falling for all q. For the question 3, we need to determine the average profit AP function. So the formula average profit equals to total revenue divided with Q. So we can find out the total revenue in question 1 is negative Q squared plus 198 Qs minus 8,000 divided with Qs. So we separate it, and when we simplify it, and we got the answer is negative Qs plus 198 minus 8,000 divided with Q. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is SYAZA binti AZHAR and my metric number is 306102. I'm going to present question 3, which is a manufacturer found that the total cost of producing X units of product is given by C equal to 0.02x squared plus 2x plus 8,000. At what level of production will average cost AC be a minimum? Now let's start with the calculation. First, we need to find the formula for AC. Using the given total cost formula CX, we divide by X to get AC. So AC is equal to CX over X equal to 0.02x squared plus 2x plus 8,000 over X. And we simplify and we get the answer is 0.02x plus 2 plus 8,000 over X. Next, we need to find the minimum point of AC. To find the minimum point, we need to calculate the derivative of AC and set it to 0. Start with the formula, which is AC is equal to 0.02x plus 2 plus 8,000 over x. The derivative of 0.02x is 0.02. The derivative of 2 is 0 since it's constant. The derivative of 8,000 equal to x is negative 8,000 equal to x squared. So the derivative is AC prime equal to 0.02 minus 8,000 over x squared. Next, to find the minimum point, set the derivative to 0. So 0.02 minus 8,000 over x squared equal to 0. 0.02 equal to 8,000 over x squared. So we need to bring the x squared to the left, and 0.02 x squared equal to 8,000 and x squared equal to 8,000 over 0.02, and we calculate, and the answer is 400,000. So we need to add a square root to 400,000 to get the x, and we calculate, and the answer is 632.46. So we can conclude that the average cost is X minimum when the manufacturer produces approximately 632 units.
Good morning, my name is Tiong Zijie and my number metric is 306125. And now let us see the last question, which is what is the price elasticity of demand ED when quantity is 10 if a firm's demand function is Q equal to 60 minus 2P power of 0.5, where P power of 0.5 greater than and equal to 0 and Q less than and equal to 60. And the elasticity is the measurement of responsiveness of the quantity to the change in the price, and the demand is a willingness and the ability of the buyers to buy or to purchase the different quantity of goods at different price during a specific period. And the law of demand, which is the price increase and the quantity will be false, and in the contrast, the price decrease, the quantity will be rise. And for the demand function, it is a Q equal to A minus BP, which is always shows the negative relationship between the Q and P. To find out the price elasticity of demand ED, we will use this formula, which is delta Q divided by delta P times P over Q. So that for now, we want to find out the value for the P, which is price, and the value for the Q, which is quantity, and also the value for delta Q divided by delta P. First, we can rewrite the demand function to Q equal to negative 2 square root P plus 60, where the square root is come from the 0.5, it is the same. And when the Q is equal to 10 units, we can sub the 10 units into this equation, this demand function, and we can find out the price is 625. So for now, we want to find out the value for delta Q divided by delta P, which is we want to differentiate or derivative the demand function. We want to differentiate and derivative the demand function because we want to determine the sensitivity of the demand to the change in the price and then calculating the value of ED. So that when we differentiate the demand function, we can find out the function is -1 over square root P. And then we already find out the value of P, so that we can sub the value of P into this function, so that we can find out that the value for delta Q divided by delta P is equal to -1 over 25. So for now, we already find out all the value, so that we can combine together to find out the ED. That is the -1 over 25 times the 625 divided by 10, so that we can find out the value of ED is equal to -2.5. Which is the negative, we can ignore it because for the demand is always negative relationship, so we must find out the value of ED is negative. And then we want to see the 2.5 only. So we can notice that the ED is -2.5 and is greater than 1, the 2.5 is greater than 1, so that we can notice and find out that the goods is the luxury goods. Thank you.